that other countries and other societies are better, and infused into younger people that maybe they should find a way out of here. But my mom infused completely different philosophy into my head. So that's why I just use the word ethics, just only to remember, that lesson. The second lesson she drilled into me was, right, she said experience. She didn't say it, I'm saying it. Experience. And why am I saying experience? That's the second E. Lots of people will say it's education. Because in our culture, everybody is education, 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 1 degree, 2 degrees, 3 degrees, and now it's become so important that even if you don't study and sit the exam, you'll pay and get the degree. That's where it's gone, right? So there was a study, this was about 25 years ago, I read this in the Economist magazine, right? It said that there was a disease in Asia, and the disease was called the diploma disease. And Sri Lanka was named as one of the countries with the diploma disease, right? Because people want to put education first. So I'm saying it's not education, it's experience is number 2. Experience matters. If you look at it, in the private sector, you may be recruited as a management trainee or something, and you learn, and then you get the experience. But if you look at the political space in our country, lots of people who are there, right, don't have experience. They have never ever worked. Never got up in the morning, brushed their teeth, got into a bus or a van, gone to office. Office started at 8. You turned up at 8:30. Your boss came up to you and said, "Why late?" We learned a lot of things. When you work, you learn a lot of things. It only comes through experience. From discipline to policy to processes, technology, all that comes through work, by working. That's why I put experience second. My mom, she lost her mother at the age of 6. And when you do that, she had to move from one house to the other. Sisters looked after her. She couldn't complete her education. She had no higher education. So she had no opportunity for higher education.
Just want to, whatever you can share with us, obviously it's got to be non-classified information. In your political career, at some stage or the other, were you compelled to face challenges, political challenges, which made you compromise ethics and your principles? If so, did you do that?
Yes and no. It sounded like a politician. Yes and no in this sense. Yes and no in that, if it had to do with my personal life, never compromised to get a benefit. I was advisor as a banker. I was working in International Bank then, I was working at Citibank. I was advisor to the mayor of Colombo. And then one day I'm in the bank, phone rings, my wife is online and she says, somebody from the municipality has come, and they said that there's a tap, and the tap is illegal, and therefore they are going to have a fine imposed. And then the guy had said, if you give me 15,000 rupees, we can just forget about it.
But anyway, my other question would be, so there are many times you compromise on your ethics if you are not the ultimate decision maker. So what would be your actual tactics on handling that? I mean, if it's against your moral values or anything like that in a situation.
Yes. It's against your own judgment. As I said, it's personal, there will be no compromise. This is to do with the government. No difference from working in a company. If you're working in a company, your company and board of directors may be making lots of decisions which you personally don't agree with. But you are working in that company, and therefore you have to go along or you have to resign. I can tell you this, whether you are in the Dayaka Sabhava of the church or the temple, or in the Old Girls or Old Boys Association, you have the same issues. So you have to figure out ways in which you express your views, but where there is a collective decision that has to be taken, it may not be your own personal decision. Running away from it is not the solution, you see. So that's why I'm saying that you have to really, really think very, very hard, in actually making those decisions.